Look, I will take care of the things I need to take care of. You take care of the things you need to take care of, and we'll make sure that this video and this audio is on point.
This is On Air with... Oh, geez. This is Almost On Air with Erica and John.
We are in Las Vegas for the iHeartRadio Music Festival. And actually, so my room is not red like this.
Yeah, so we were staying at the Park MGM, as Erica said, at the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Vegas.
Oh, I was like, I literally didn't say we're staying at the Park MGM.
Oh, we're staying at the Park MGM.
Yeah.
And if you've never stayed at the Park MGM, the rooms are color coordinated.
So my room is like a deep, it's kind of like this shirt. Like it's like a green.
So I think they only have green and red. So my room is red, which seems fitting. It's like an iHeart fitting room.
So 2 years ago, we didn't have an in-person festival last year, obviously because of COVID. But 2 years ago, I was in a red room, and I kind of thought, like my stupid self was like, that's because of the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Dude, people have been responding to my story all day thinking that we are only in this room because it's an iHeart themed room.
I'm a little disappointed that mine's not red.
Yeah, the red's way better. Dude.
Yeah,
but
so
also
that's why we're
reds,
here.
Does this not kind of feel like a casting couch?
I mean,
it's
how many casting couches have you been on?
0, to be honest. I just feel like a red sofa is a little bit weird.
It's like a very much like a red velvet sofa. So I get that.
Yeah. The red velvet sofa is a little alarming. However, I don't know if this is even an expensive hotel because iHeart pays for it. Thank you, iHeart. But I don't know if this is an expensive hotel because my room has a king bed, but also I have like a very nice couch, and I have a table in here and a chair, and
I think it's not a very expensive room, but it's like a pretty good room.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
rooms don't normally have couches, I feel like.
And yeah. Anyway, this weekend we're both here working. We're recording this very late Thursday night.
Yeah, so this is Thursday night. We just flew in today to Vegas.
Yeah.
So we're bringing this to you from Vegas, which I feel like is pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool.
It's probably about 10:50 p.m. So it's also kind of late. And Erica's had a few glasses of wine.
And a tequila soda.
I've had a couple tequila sodas. I also had some wine. I had some wine at dinner, by the way.
Yeah, you texted me.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to pause everything I was just saying.
Okay.
So I went to dinner at this Italian restaurant with some coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Not you included.
Right, yeah, thanks.
However,
no, I was working. I couldn't.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, so it was this Italian restaurant. Bless you. Very authentic.
I'm so sorry.
And I was looking at all the, and here's the thing. When I go to Italian restaurants, I also feel very bad because you got to remember my family is very Italian. I have some family that, Jesus Christ. Figure it out, dude. Bless you.
I've never sneezed during a podcast before.
I actually don't think you have. Yeah, that's a good point.
Weird. Anyway, your family's very Italian?
My family's very Italian. My grandparents speak Italian. I have Italian members that live in Italy, which I've never met, but still.
Italian members that live in Italy.
Oh, family members that are Italian. I'm well.
Everything's fine.
Anyway. My family's very Italian is the point that I'm trying to make here. And they take very much pride in that. So when I go to Italian restaurants and I read some of the Italian menu items and I don't know how to pronounce them, I feel terrible.
What'd you order tonight?
I got a pizza. And it was like a very Italian pizza, though. It was like one of those.
Ciabatta.
I don't know what that was.
That was me trying to speak Italian.
Oh, it's not a good.
No. Okay.
So anyways, I got a pizza. It was pretty good. And then I wanted to order a wine. And so I basically looked at all the wines. And I couldn't pronounce a lot of the wines. And this makes me feel like a disgrace to my family.
You should.
I feel terrible. My family would disown me because they know actually how to pronounce all these Italian names. And I don't. And I should probably pay more attention.
And then you're a loser.
But I just read them all. And I just looked at the waiter. And I said, sir, how do you say sir in Italian?
Monsieur? I don't know.
No, that's French.
Oh.
How do you say sir in Spanish? Senor?
Senor.
I don't know.
Are you okay?
This is so bad. Anyways, I said, can you just give me a soft blanc? I don't care what kind. I acted like I was like, surprised me, like I was spontaneous.
Sorpresa.
But in reality, I just couldn't pronounce the wines. And I felt really bad.
Did he give you the most expensive one?
I don't know. It was on iHeart's dime today, so I didn't care.
See, I'm like a little jealous because I was working with, so I landed, I was picked up by like one of our like our boss's
This is like a national iHeart boss.
Yeah, picked me up from the airport because he and I are producing together tomorrow and Saturday, which is awesome. Like super fun to produce with people that high up. But he was like, I just figured I would like pick you up because we're like partners for the weekend. And I was like, okay, I'm like nobody, but sure. But he picks me up, takes me straight to the hotel. We have to get COVID tested, and I like get the last PCR test of the day, whatever. And then I go straight to work. Like I had no fun tonight because then we were like pouring wine while we were working. But like you were like out at dinner and like having drinks and
that is so
yeah,
nice.
I worked until almost 9 p.m.
So that's a bummer because I wasn't allowed to work today because
of the COVID test.
Yeah,
situation.
so the COVID test situation here
Is
is
intense.
it's so intense. So you have to be vaxxed in order to come and
to work.
To
To
attend,
attend,
not to come,
you have to be vaccinated or a negative COVID test within 72 hours. To work, we have to be vaccinated, COVID tested before we leave our city that we are leaving, and then COVID tested upon arrival.
Correct. So I COVID tested before I left on my flight here, but the results weren't in yet. So when I got here, I got COVID tested again, but those results don't come in until 4 a.m. tomorrow.
Right.
And so they said, you literally cannot come into the arena. Enjoy your night. So I said,
That's so lucky.
say less, dude. So
Do you have to rapid test tomorrow morning?
No. So my result that comes in tomorrow morning will last me the 72 hours.
Okay.
Which is nice. So we went out to dinner. I hung out with some friends that I used to work with in promotions. And I just feel like I enjoy this weekend so much for multiple reasons. A, it's cool to work this festival because of just the experience you get. Obviously,
Totally.
they fly you out here. iHeart gives us a room.
Wait, can I say something really quick?
Yes.
When we started this show 2 years ago, one of our first shows, I think our very first show was us talking about going to iHeart Festival.
It was. And here we are again, dude.
Here we
also,
are.
our anniversary is coming up in about 3 weeks.
Holy shit.
2 weeks.
We have to
2
plan
years
things.
of doing this podcast.
Okay, we'll plan things for that. Anyway,
plan.
so you love coming to this festival because it's just
Yes.
amazing.
The room is nice. The flight is awesome. They give you a per diem, which means you can eat on iHeart's dime every day,
True.
so you don't have to spend your own money on eating out. And so here's the way that works too. Is I'm just going to give you a little inside scoop on what like the pros do. I think.
Yeah, no, I'm not a pro.
You're
I've
not.
learned.
You're definitely not a pro. I'm an experienced spend money on iHeart's dime member, right?
Sure.
So I feel like one of my favorite things to do. See, this time, I don't know if it's always. This time in this city, we get $90 a day.
Right. And
So
it's
that-
not always. It's usually less, but
And
Las
that's-
Vegas is.
Right, because Las Vegas is expensive food, so they usually account for that.
Mhm.
And that's got to include your breakfast, lunch, dinner, any Ubers you take, anything you pay for.
I think Ubers are separate.
No, they're not supposed to be.
Oh.
Anyway,
I learned something new today.
the trick is you bring some snacks with you if you can, and you starve yourself all day. Don't eat breakfast. Don't eat lunch.
Oh.
You save the whole dang thing for dinner. And then at dinner, dude, which is what I did tonight, I blew $80 on dinner.
Oh, and that's almost our whole per diem.
Yeah, and then I bought one drink at the bar we just came from right now. But anyways, I bought this expensive pizza. I got like an espresso martini, dude. It was like $19 for a martini, which is
And then
so
you had
overpriced, but it's Vegas, and I felt like a baller. I would never buy a $19 martini, but I was just like, give it to me, dude. I felt like I just felt like I was rich for once.
Here's
you know?
the thing, though.
Thanks, iHeart.
Right. Thanks, iHeart, for everything up until Saturday night.
Okay.
I don't give a shit what money I have left on my per diem. We are going out,
Oh, for sure.
and I will spend a lot of money.
Yeah, it's also Vegas, so I'm prepared to spend my own money as well.
Right. But like Saturday. So for me, work wise, like, we have to get up super early on Fridays. We have to, I work, usually for me, I work until about 2 a.m. on the Friday night. So I work a 4 hour or 20 hour day.
2 a.m.? Really?
It's just how it goes in the broadcast room. Anyway.
2 a.m. is gnarly. I didn't know anyone worked past midnight to 12:30.
Oh, yeah. Saturday night.
Interesting.
The moment I'm off. No one needs me for anything anymore. And I'm ready to party.
That's usually how it is, too. So it used to be, I think I don't know if it's when iHeart had a bigger budget, and this was before COVID.
When we would get the clubs.
They would rent out an entire club for iHeart employees, and you could bring your friends, and the entire bar, all the way through the club, was an open bar.
Right. It was, are you thinking of the year that we did Jewel?
Yes.
Yeah. That was the best year.
Yes. We had promo guys getting carried to their rooms, and they almost got fired for it. Oh, it was so bad.
Oh, I didn't almost get fired, but I definitely stayed longer than I should have, and I will tell you details of that off air. But 2 years ago when we were here, you and I were both here. I remember buying you a drink at the bar because you were kind of new.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, and but it was a like iHeart party, but it was like a special room was the iHeart party.
Oh, wait, that was also an open bar.
It was, but we went downstairs first, bought a drink, and then we realized we could go upstairs, and we did that.
Yeah.
The
girlfriend got very mad at me that night.
Why?
But we broke up, so.
I was like, why?
So also, what is your job?
Wait, are you not going to tell us why your girlfriend got
I
super?
don't remember. We were both drunk. It was whatever.
Oh, okay. So I work in the broadcast room for the iHeart broadcast room. So basically, if you're listening on an iHeart station that is broadcasting the festival, they're going to insert interviews, a pre-show, I think a little bit of a post-show. I'm not quite sure. And I basically help produce that. I do all the artist prep for that. So any interview that happens there, I probably wrote the questions for it. Sorry, behind the curtain of radio, the hosts don't write their own questions. I also, this weekend, which is super fun, I'm producing the pre-show on CW.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so Tanya from our show, On Earth, Ryan Seacrest, is doing it. Bobby Bones is doing it. And then Friday night, Big Boy is doing it. And Saturday night, DJ Envy is doing it. So
very cool.
Me and a very high up exec from iHeart are producing that. And I'm like,
that's got to be pretty awesome.
Oh, you want me to do this? Okay. But I did it 2 years ago, so I know what I'm doing.
I mean, it's not like you've not been producing for actually years.
No, totally. But it is like when you're like live on TV, there's definitely a different feeling to it.
I get that.
Like on TV, you're like, there's no, I don't think there's commercial breaks during the pre-show. So I'm like, in radio, there's like a commercial break or there's a song and you can communicate what you need to. But like this is just like a live string of me holding up cards being like, mention iHeartRadio Music Festival, mention Dua Lipa's performing. You know, like it's cool. It's a really fun thing. So I'm excited for that.
That is pretty cool.
And I love that they choose me to do it.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
I think it's always a blessing to work this festival as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first started working this festival, I was on the promotions team, which is basically the street team that works events for iHeart.
Mm-hmm.
And not everyone on the street team got to work festival. They
right.
only chose essentially the people who had like worked the hardest that year that they knew that they could count on for the festival.
Yeah.
It's not like everyone in iHeart gets to come and work this thing. So I always feel so blessed to be able to come work it. So now for the past couple of years, I've worked on the talent team, which is the team that essentially is the on-site contact for the talent that rolls through the festival.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all assigned different talent. I think I talked about this on our first episode too. It's the same job I've done.
Do you know who you have this year?
So far they've not completely finished the assignments, but right now I have Martin Garrix, the DJ.
Oh, okay.
Which I just saw in Vegas 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's all you have?
So far. So it looks like this year because of COVID, normally we have a ton of presenters and like a bunch of celebrities that come
who like
through.
go through, do interviews, do social stops, do all of that. Yeah, it's way pared down this year.
Right. So a lot of us are usually assigned 1 to 2 artists and then some presenters to make sure we meet on site. And we carry them to the dressing rooms. We take them to the red carpet. We walk them through their press, make sure they get on stage. And we're kind of like the on-site contact for the talent.
Mm-hmm.
And so this time we don't have as many presenters and a lot of extra people coming through because we're trying to limit our amount of people due to COVID.
Right.
So right now, on the first night, the only one I'm assigned to so far is Martin Garrix, and they'll probably give me 1 or 2 more. Probably just 1 more, to be honest, which is a fairly easy
on the
night.
First night or the second night?
On the first night.
So you don't know about second night
I don't know second night. They haven't assigned it yet.
But
so
they
I have
will
day
eventually.
stage as well. So I'll have to go to the day stage. I have 1 to 2 artists at the day stage, and then I come back to the nighttime festival.
And they'll probably give you someone.
And they'll definitely give me someone, if not 2 or 3 people.
So in my mind, I was like, shit, so when I'm done, you're already going to be like way out. No.
I'm also curious because I know Ryan is coming.
Yeah. And you usually angle him.
And he's not on our schedule at all, which is why I'm interested. Ryan, what are you doing?
Ryan, you good? Or
yeah, you coming or what?
So that's our lives at festival.
And it's fun. The festival is so cool because it is really a place that you can really see so many different genres of music. And like, it sounds so cheesy, but I genuinely love working these events because if I do get 15 minutes free sometimes, I love running out and just seeing 15 minutes of a show because you really do get a cool experience.
I'll admit I usually don't get 15 minutes free.
Oh, that's a bummer. I usually get about 15 minutes to run out and catch somebody.
You know, I will say the two people that I've gotten to actually watch like a good portion of their set during was Coldplay a couple of years ago, which was like
one of the best you could see.
And then the last one was Kelly Clarkson, and that was so fun because it's the broadcast room, not necessarily this year, but the years past has been a lot of like girls my age, and they just kind of were like, we're done, go ahead. And so it was like 6 of us girls just screaming my life would suck without you, and it was awesome.
Since You've Been Gone, yeah.
Yeah, and Since You've Been Gone. It was so much fun. So
what I like too is because we like what's cool about the iHeart Festival too is it seems like backstage is kind of a party in its own way.
Usually,
so, like,
I don't know.
Dealt with COVID
This year's so sad. Yeah.
But usually there are so many people backstage and everyone's talking to each other and different celebrities get to see each other for the first time. And like as you're walking backstage, you just see so many people hanging out that it feels like its own little club backstage.
Yeah.
Too. Like sometimes I'll walk by. I remember the last festival we worked. I walked by this husky. It was like
a dog.
A dog, yeah,
okay.
in glasses, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so cute!" And so I walk up to it, and like this dog has like 2 million followers.
Was it like the Palm thing?
No, it was I don't know, some husky. It was like an influencer dog, and I was like, even the dog backstage is like an influencer. Like this is ridiculous, dude. Like what's going on?
You know what I like about our Heart Festival, iHeart Festival is like working in radio. You usually end up with so many internet relationships, like friendships.
This is a good point.
And I just feel like it's regularly at festival, maybe less so this year, but always in years past, that you get to meet back up with those people, actually meet them in person if you haven't before. And it's just like so nice.
So true. And there's a lot of people that even you work with on this, like the national team that even puts this festival
right.
on, that you only see at big events.
Totally.
So it's kind of a reunion for a lot of the people that you like to see as well.
Yeah. Like the girl that I work for in the broadcast room, I see her maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
But it's like, just we are always coming back to it.
Always coming back to it.
And then there's just always other radio people. I should shut up. There's always radio people that you meet and see.
Yes. And it's a good time. It's definitely a good time.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to talk about today?
It was mostly just festival stuff. And I'm just trying to paint the picture because I assume most people have not been. You know what I mean? Because it's in Vegas. Like it's really hard to go
it's
to
not
this
just
unless you win tickets. But like most people I assume don't.
No.
But it's cool because this is like one of the bigger events that we get to be a part of. And like this is how I imagine it would be to like work Coachella, you know, or work some Lollapalooza or some huge festival.
Cool that we don't have to work Coachella actually the one time I've been to Coachella it was kind of working, but like Stagecoach we don't work it. We get to just go have fun.
Yeah.
Would you ever want to work that? I would rather have fun at that personally.
I would rather, but I also feel like those events wouldn't be as fun to work. Because the cool thing about the iHeart Festival is when the celebrities and the talent are backstage, they're doing cool things.
Yeah.
They're walking the red carpet. They're doing these different artist experiences. You're watching them do TV bits and they're doing radio interviews. And, you know, sometimes there's like the interviews backstage in Lollapalooza, you know, and like an artist will get 5 minutes. I don't even know,
but yeah.
I see them sometimes when I watch the live stream, but it's really rare. It's really brief and it's not as fun. But here there are social stops where they're doing cool things that you get to see on the internet. And I just feel like this one feels more fun and like there's more to do.
Yeah. Maybe that's just because we work it, though.
That could just be because maybe other
if you work Lollapalooza, let us know.
Yeah, I'm
what
curious.
It's really like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a weird. Like my years past, I've only worked 1 year where I wasn't with the same team that I work with, and instead I was doing kind of like presenter and special guest wrangling, and I had to like get Kiki Palmer on a bus and like sit on the bus with her and her crew and be like, "Hi." But like the after parties, I'm so bummed that there's not, as far as we know, there's not an after party this year, right?
No, not this year.
So we're gonna have to make our own. But I totally also get it because like if you put, you know, say a company puts 400 employees in the same place and they're like, I hope you don't get COVID. Like I get it.
It's just such a liability.
So it's so strange. Also, I literally today when I landed, like went in, got to my test situation. I walked in and they're like, you're our last PCR test. And I was like, oh. And they're like, so we're going to rapid test you too, just in case. And then I got a call and they're like, hey, so our machine's not working and your rapid test keeps coming back invalid. I'm like, oh,
So you
okay.
have COVID.
But then she said, she's like,